My name is Dave Guthrie. I'm the Executive Director of Indiana Soccer. I'm here today at the Renaissance Carmel Hotel where we're having our annual workshops, our annual meeting, and also the awards banquet this evening. There'll be several sessions that are made available today. One is going to be offered on our outreach program, the outreach program using futsal in the schools. If you haven't been involved in that program, I would highly recommend that you bring your club and get them involved. It's based on the fact that there's 1,000,001 kids in the state of Indiana that are school-aged. Every one of those kids we want playing in a club somewhere, but we have to introduce them to the game. And in order to introduce them to the game, we have to go where they are. And we've realized that most kids are in school someplace, and so the in-school futsal initiative is to go into the schools to educate the phys ed teachers on the small-sided game of futsal, leave the school with futsal goals, futsal balls, and all we're asking of the school is to use what we give you. Use the education, use the balls, use the goals, let kids have fun with the ball at their feet. And we're hoping that as we introduce more and more kids to the game in school, by having them play the game of futsal, that a portion of those kids will end up loving the game and gravitating into one of our member clubs. So that's going to be here. There'll be some discussion about that with Justin Bates. We also have John Kaluta here with special member benefits, and you're going to see John's going to talk about an e-commerce solution for your club. He's also going to be talking about Go and Give, which is another revenue generator. These are passive revenue generators that Indiana Soccer is going to come alongside of the club and take the heavy lift away, and making sure that that the club doesn't have to use some of their bandwidth to work on these things, but Indiana Soccer will do that on your behalf. There's also Because One, which is another way for a revenue generator for a club, and several others that too many to mention right here. But he's going to be here doing that. You've also got Angel Hall, who I think all of you know. Angel's going to be talking about a lot of administrative issues, how to stay in compliance. The world has become much more complex in the way of compliance with the establishment of the Center for Safe Sport, which now have a lot of different requirements that are imposed upon those of us that run clubs. Indiana Soccer is working alongside of our clubs to make sure they stay in compliance, but Angel's going to be addressing that issue quite in depth today, along with some other things. You know, how do you keep from being administratively dissolved with the state of Indiana Secretary of State? How do you maintain and secure and ensure that you keep your 501c3 status? If you don't have one, she'll be talking about ways in which to acquire a 501c3 status. So those are just a few things that are going to happen during the day, during the workshops. And then of course the climactic event is this evening when we'll be recognizing the good work of the members of our clubs. And that's probably the most enjoyable portion for the staff of Indiana Soccer to do, because again, we get to recognize some of the good work that's being done around the state of Indiana. And that'll happen starting at 6 o'clock through the rest of the evening.
My name is Todd Sheely. I'm the Indiana ODP Director. Oh, some fun facts. Personally, I really like the salads that Angel Hall gets us for lunch on the Saturday of the AGM. One of the best salads I've ever had. I'm able to pick off a few of the things I don't like, trade, because we're being collegial. So if I don't like tomatoes, I can find somebody who wants tomatoes, and I can get their shredded cheese possibly. In all honesty, the thing I like most about this event is we may play against one another, we may be competitive against one another, but when you come together like an event like this, everybody's in it for the right reasons, and that's the game of soccer.
Hello, I'm George Perry. I'm the Indiana Soccer Director of Competition, so I oversee the travel leagues and cup competition, as well as some of the other aspects of competition that we put forward. One of the things I enjoy most about the AGM is really trying to connect faces with names that I talk to on the phone or email or text throughout the year, and also just to kind of get to sit down and talk to people for a little while. Sometimes about soccer, sometimes not about soccer, but it's just a great time for people to be able to get together and connect with each other.
So you want me to talk about stuff, huh? All right. AGM weekend, my highlight or my favorite part of the AGM weekend, I think, is the gala. Because it's an opportunity where we get to come in and celebrate the best of the best and pay recognition to our membership. Over the course of my tenure here with Indiana Soccer, not only have we been able to do that, but we've been able to highlight some of the the history, if you may. We've had the Lauren Cheneys, we've had the Lori Lindsays, we've had other people that have come in and given us a little bit of their backstory, because we see these phenomenal women, and in some cases men, that have played out on our national stage, but they got their start here in our backyard. So that's always entertaining. But then we're also able to send out some important messages, if you may. So like this year, we're going to have the Positive Coaching Alliance. We're going to have Keenan Bigg and Kenny Harkenrider just help remind everyone out there that we ought to be creating environments for our youth and our coaches and our referees and our spectators that ought to be the best experiences of their life. And how do we maybe do our part to clean up sport? Because this is something that is a nationwide problem in all sports across the board. So hopefully we're going to provide that for our membership in tonight's gala. But just the overall sense of celebration. The amount of work that the staff at Indiana Soccer puts in to these events is culminated, if that's a word, in the gala itself. I wish we could find a way to get more engagement on the AGM weekend. We've had Positive Coaching Alliance workshops this AGM weekend. We've had our soccer nuggets. We've had the Gotsport people come in. We're trying to find ways that we can provide more information and resources for our membership. So I'd be curious, anybody out there, if you've got ideas on how we can help the AGM grow, let us know, because we'd love to see you. We'd love to celebrate your accomplishments.
Hi, I'm Angel Hall, and I've been with Indiana Soccer for about 19 years. This is my 19th AGM to attend, and I don't have a fun fact, but I do have something to say. This is a time when our staff comes together. We put a lot of work and a lot of energy into preparing for this weekend, and then we love when our members show up and we get to share with them and meet with them and talk with them. So it turns out to be a really great day. It'd be our wish, I would say, that we'd like to see more of our members come and attend and take advantage of what we have to offer.
So again, thanks for listening, and if you have any questions, especially about some of the initiatives I've talked about, please reach out to us. Thanks.